Hello everybody, welcome to Prenatal Pilates. My name is Kayla Brugger and today we're going to have a short class. So what I'm going to run through today is not only for pregnant women. I just want to point that out that this class is for everybody and anybody that may experience lower back pain. So we're just going to do 3 moves together. This can be something that you can incorporate into your everyday life or something that you could use as a warm-up or a cool down. So we're first going to start with a roll down. I'm gonna have you begin with your feet about hip width distance or parallel if you got a little belly in the way. If you don't have a belly in the way, you can bring your feet all the way together. All right, so start with a big breath in, standing nice and tall. And on your exhale, you're gonna begin to draw your chin down towards your chest. Just gently let gravity start to pull you forward, melting your shoulders down, rolling your spine down, keeping your legs as straight as you can. Kind of let gravity pull you forward here. So let your arms just be really limp and heavy. Now lift your tummy up and begin to slowly roll the spine all the way back up. Now when we let gravity take over at the top, we're gonna kind of feel like our shoulders are slouching forward a little bit. So I like to inhale, take a shoulder shrug up, down, and back, and then on the exhale as the shoulders roll back, bring the chin back to the chest, and then again, start that roll down. Each one you might notice yourself going a little bit further, and slowly begin to take your way all the way back up to the top. We're gonna do 3 more together, shrugging those shoulders up, down, and back. Take your next exhale, melt your spine forward, letting gravity just pull those arms down. Going slow or fast with these. I like to move at a little bit more of a moderate pace. Oh, not too slow, not too fast, so I can still enjoy that stretch. Shoulder shrug up, down, and back. 2 more, exhale. And inhale to the top. Shoulder shrug up, down, and back. And last one, exhale. Melting the spine forward. You might notice your range of motion really increasing by that 5th one. Now you can do 3, you can do 5, you can do 10, however many feels good until you start to feel a nice release in the lower back with all of that forward flexion. Next, you're gonna make your way down onto your hands and knees into a tabletop position. All 4, so position those wrists right underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. Now, I don't want you to get this confused with a cat stretch because our goal is to stabilize our upper back and just move our hips and pelvis. So you're gonna start with a deep breath in. And on your exhale, begin to tuck your hips. Think about curling your pubic bone to your navel and pulling your tailbone down to your heels. And then inhale, return to a neutral spine. As you exhale, rock the hips under, feeling your lower back stretch out and your lower abdominals engage. Inhale, neutral, and then exhale. This is called a pelvic rock. We're gonna be here for 10. These are nice and slow and controlled. Now again, pay attention that the upper back, the shoulders, they aren't rounding, they aren't slouching, they're staying neutral and flat. Exhale, into that rock. Really contract up and into the lower abdominals. And exhale, we've got 5 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, last 2. I really like to push all the breath out and keep squeezing and keep tightening and really feeling those lower belly muscles fire almost until you get a little quiver at the end of that breath, at the end of that exhale. Last one here. And then inhale, releasing to a neutral spine. Now we're gonna move into a frog squat. So from here, you can step your left foot nice and wide outside of your left hand and step your right foot nice and wide outside of your right hand. Now, depending on how tight you are in your hips, you may not be able to go quite as low here, but I want you to sink down as far as you can and you might be able to get your butt to drop really low. But if you notice like your heels are up and your hips are up and you're not feeling as comfortable, one thing you can do is try rolling your mat up a couple times and then see if you can use that extra raise of the mat to prop your heels up a little bit and see if that can help you come into a little bit more of a relaxed state into a frog squat here. So that's an option if you've got really tight ankles or calves, to get the heels to anchor down a little bit more. Now, if your feet are just going flat to the mat, no need to roll the mat up, but I just like to show that as an option to help get into a more relaxed state here. And then you notice me rocking side to side, just kind of letting those hips release. You can gently press the knees back using your elbows, or just using the strength of your abductors, your outer glute muscles, to get the hips to open up. But I'm already just feeling this beautiful release down all the way into the sacrum. Now, if you're feeling really comfortable here and you want to release your hands off the floor completely, you might go ahead and kind of sit back, stack your spine up nice and tall, bring your hands into a little prayer position here, and just do a nice little knee sway again, back and forth and side to side. Now you can stay here for as long as you feel comfortable, or you might want to take your hands down if it's feeling like too much pressure on your knees or your hips, and come up into a little reset. Extending out the legs will also bring a nice hamstring stretch into it, which naturally also helps release the lower back out. And then when you're ready to come back down into it. So if you need that release, I would recommend coming up into that hamstring stretch, just straightening out the legs maybe 3 to 5 times, and then dropping back into the frog squat. And again, just kind of noticing with each one, just like the roll downs, if your range of motion increases in your hips and your lower back releases a little bit more. I'm feeling a little tight in those hamstrings myself, so I am enjoying that extra little hamstring stretch and that reset before coming back into that frog squat. Just taking another breath in or two here. Might feel good to just kind of hold it still and steady, and eliminating that rocking for a moment on that last one. And then when you're ready, we'll all take our hands down to the floor together, send those hips up. You'll be about hip width distance apart, and then you're just gonna slowly roll the spine all the way back up, exactly where we started. Take that one shoulder roll up, down, and back to reset so your chest is nice and open. And that'll do it for 3 quick exercises that can help release your lower back. Thanks for joining me.